was always very much the poor guy in my thinking. That helps a lot. There's a tip for guys trying to make more money. I'm still the poor guy inside, but I've got probably, I'd say maybe 8 or 9 different income streams. Okay, so very grateful for all the very interesting questions shared on Instagram. I've got JP here, marketing master. Hey guys. And so to answer all the questions, JP's come with me while we run around. We've got some meetings, so we're going to run some errands. And while we're doing that, to utilize the time, we're going to answer those questions.
At what age did you turn the corner in your financial success, and what mindsets did you have to make that happen?
Interesting. All right, so for my first, let's say 30 years of my life, obviously in the army you don't get paid much. In the initial stages of the private security sector, didn't get paid much. I was always very much the poor guy in my thinking. I was trying to save as much as I could. I didn't really reward myself with any toys or anything. I was trying to hold on to as much money as possible. I didn't make any sort of, shall we say, risky investment decisions. And so I made very slow progress. So I got divorced when I was, say, 35, 36. That helps a lot. There's a tip for guys trying to make more money. Make sure you have the right partner in life. Don't shack up with someone who doesn't share the same financial goals as you. But through meeting Tate, he taught me that money should flow. And so I changed my mindset. I'm still the poor guy inside, but I managed to change my mindset away from scarcity and trying to hold on to every penny to abundance and investing in toys and experiences, being around wealthy people, learning how to properly interact with the elite in their playground, so to speak, in their domain. And as a result, I got a lot of clients. I got access to a lot of fantastic investment opportunities. So now I understand, as Tate taught me, money needs to flow. You should spend money to make money. And now money flows in. I've got probably, I'd say maybe 8 or 9 different income streams, and then my various investments on top of that. If you learn how to spend money in ways that brings money back to you, both in terms of developing brands or developing companies, networking, getting yourself in certain circles, investments, of course they need to have some risk in them, but you should be able to do your research properly, and then money should be spent and money should flow. That's where I am now.
How do you communicate so well, and why is that so important as well?
Okay, so I consciously put a lot of effort into learning how to speak clearly and effectively. A lot of it's practice. Also in my corporate career, I went through various corporate presentation skills trainings, a bunch of them. They're actually really useful. You get filmed and you have professional speaking coaches giving you feedback. You get to see what you look like when you're up in front of a group speaking. I've done a lot of public speaking, spoken to groups of 400 or 500 people dozens of times as part of trainings that I've run or conferences I've spoken at. I think it's just practice. Get some expert opinion, get some expert feedback, and then practice, put the skills to use. It is a muscle that you can improve over time. Obviously, both the Tate brothers, incredible orators, they built that skill over time and they reviewed their footage, they got feedback from their brothers. So it's like anything else. You want to get jacked in the gym, you're not going to try and do it by yourself. You're going to get the help of an expert, you're going to get feedback and support from your brothers. Same concepts.
What motivated you to join the army?
What was I, 17 when I signed up? I just turned 18 and I'd never really left my state. I mean, I traveled a little bit. Still, my experience was very limited in life. So for me, it was that mission. I think every young man, they want a sense of mission. They want conflict, they want combat, they want to prove themselves, they want to fight the good fight. And so for me, it was, I was interested in nothing else. I remember going through the recruitment process and I was actually told, you've scored high enough on the IQ testing to apply to be a fighter pilot. Why do you want to be an infantry soldier? And I said, no, I'm only interested in infantry. I said, well, you can do this, you can do that. I said, no, only infantry. So that's where I started. My thinking was, if you want to be in the military, why not be a soldier? That's the place to start. Now, I moved on to other things after that, but I was very clear that the infantry was the way for me. I wanted to fulfill that masculine urge that every man has to go to conflict, to prove yourself in battle, to be with your brothers and fight a good fight. I do not necessarily recommend the military as the place to do that in the modern age, but back then, that's the thinking that I had.
Behind the UAE, what are the other best places to live in regards to taxes, culture, everything altogether?
Places like Singapore have certain benefits. There are a number of tax havens around the world. The way I recommend, especially to Warren brothers, to choose the cities to live in is go to the places where there are many, many Warren brothers who are already doing very well. And we have various hubs around the world. One of them is Bangkok. We've got so many strong Warren brothers there. You have great access, great connections, businesses that they're building are thriving. And it's a low cost of living, but you can still do good business there. You can still network. So that's a great hub for Asia. So I'd recommend that. In Latin America, there's a number of places in Mexico where we have big hubs. We've got a lot of men there. And there's also Medellin has a lot of guys as well. I'd be looking to base places where there's low cost of living, but still enough of a buzz, enough business and fellow warrior brothers to build empires, so to speak. I do not necessarily believe living in the West is wise in any Western city. I think the trend is clear and people should look to get out of the first world and into the second or third world where they have trusted connections, warrior brothers, and where there's low cost of living, but still it is developed enough to still build businesses, to still network with ultra high net worth individuals.
What are the top 5 necessary skills any man needs in life to become successful and build themselves as a man?
Top 5 skills. I think the first one is persistence. You need to have that discipline, that hunger to work every day. You must be persistent. I saw a Harvard Business Review study that showed that persistence piece is directly tied into success. So you need to specialize in a field that you are ideally naturally good at, well suited to and well positioned to in life, but also that adds value to society. So first of all, find something to specialize in that is useful and adds value to society. The second piece is that of persistence. You must be that guy who keeps going. There are a lot of businessmen out there who are very successful, who aren't necessarily that smart in terms of IQ, but wow, they're disciplined, they're hungry, they're persistent. So that's the second one. The third one is people skills, interpersonal skills, social intelligence, emotional intelligence. I saw a Harvard Business Review study that said 85% of success in a man comes down to their interpersonal skills. 15% is that technical capability. So you need to learn the people skills. That's 3. I'd say number 4 is sales, and that does tie into people skills. Everything in life is sales, everything. You can get exposure to sales in a market that's necessary, that's relevant to your specialization early on. That's going to help you a lot. And number 5, of course, you need to have the right brothers around you. Trying to do this lone wolf thing, 1, it's not natural. We're meant to roll as a tribe. 2, it's highly inefficient. Why not have 30 men working with you who you trust or who are at least giving you feedback and advice? That's going to be a lot more powerful than one mind and one set of eyes trying to build an empire. So they're the 5 points I'd answer with there, brother.
How can the middle class upgrade to the next level while the US dollar collapses?
Yeah, tricky one. So personally, I think all of this, the world is going to collapse, is a little bit overblown. There's a lot in place to make sure the US dollar doesn't collapse. There's an incredible machine, even down to the intelligence apparatus, the military apparatus, the global banking mafia, essentially. Yes, we see trends over time, but it's not going to happen overnight. Inflation has existed for generations. The increasing divide between the rich and poor has existed for generations. These things are nothing new. As an individual, you need to work harder than everyone else. You need to have the right brothers around you. You need to not live beyond your means. I think in the internet, social media culture, so many people, especially in Dubai, are living so far beyond their means. You're not going to get ahead if you put all of your money into fronting and flexing. Yes, develop a brand, but my goodness, do not spend money on toys and lifestyle until you've built the investments, you've built the businesses first. So you need to have that correct focus and time on your life. And the other thing I'd say is it takes time, man. Like, I've been working since I was 12. I'm now 40. Only in the last, say, 4 or 5 years have I allowed myself to start really enjoying my life. So you need to put in decades of work typically before you can be that man who has all the toys and the lifestyle. I think modern day culture doesn't acknowledge that.
What do you class as brotherhood?
Brotherhood for me is a shared bond between men who all have the same belief systems, the same drive, the same preparedness to look after each other, jump on a plane and go and help a brother out, who are combat ready and ready to get physical to support their brother if they need to. That's important. But mostly it's just having brothers around me who view the world the same as I do and who bring value in the same way I do and who are very respectful in the same way I am. Men who add value to each other and go through struggles together and win together, that to me is brotherhood. And I think it goes back to the way we're meant to live. Men are not meant to be sitting around in their houses with kids and with women. That's unnatural. We're meant to be operating in tribes of men, going out hunting, going to battle, bringing back the spoils back to camp. We are meant to roll as packs. So men who you can have next to you in high pressure, difficult situations, who you know you can rely on, that harks back to the old school caveman days when that would be how we were living. I still look for those same qualities. I look for those caveman, combat ready, reliable qualities as if we were living back in tribal days, even though we live in a day of modern luxury. All right, bro. Well, thanks for being here, man. It was good to answer all those questions. I'm not going to be that like, subscribe guy. That's not me. I do hope that what I'm putting out there is impactful in a beneficial way, because that's the spirit of the war room. That's the spirit of the real world. The guys who have reached a certain level of success, not just in finances, but in all areas of life, we want to give back and we want to have a positive impact on the lads who are leveling up, who are looking to progress as a man. I think that's what we're here for. I think that's the meaning of life, is to progress. And I hope that what I put forward is useful in your journey for the person watching in doing exactly that. Cheers.